To expand on this matter, political analyst Xolani Dube joins me right now before the NEC meeting. Xolani, a very good morning to you. Thank you for joining us. A showdown is expected at the ANC NEC meeting as, of course, factions begin to clash again. What are some of the expectations coming out of there?
There is no showdown. There is going to be no showdown. I think the black political elite will try to close rank and they will protect each other. And we as the public, once again, will become the victims of false hope.
You speak about false hope, and we know that one of the issues that needs to be discussed here and perhaps ironed out is that step-aside rule. Will it pass the legal merits and the muster that it needs?
Look, the issue of step-aside morals and ethics, ANC has been having a forked tongue. They've been tongue-twisting around the interpretation of such simple concepts. And so I don't think, and I don't foresee the ANC coming up with a clear-cut resolution or a decisive decision on what to do with those who are alleged to be corrupt. Because at the end of the day, none of those guys in the ANC is immaculate if we really look what they've done to the society of South Africa. And so if they are going to say certain members must step aside, this means that the whole NEC is supposed to be dissolved and a new conference or ANC must go to a national conference. Possibly even that national conference, it will be tough to find some sense. And so I think ANC is just a den of so-called alleged thieves, and I don't foresee them trying to really repent. And as I'm saying, we are just the prisoners of hope.
We're just the prisoners of hope, but the step-aside rule was something that was discussed. And do you think that this could perhaps now deepen the factional lines here? As you say that if indeed it is to pass, a lot is at stake for all the other leaders within the NEC.
Look, the ANC has reached the Mexican standoff, because both the factions are not different from each other. And so who's going to be sacrificed? And I don't think that any of the two factions are willing to sacrifice their members. And I think, as I'm saying, they will have a consensus to say, look, for them to survive, they must have kind of an olive branch. And then we as the public will still continue to be the victim of their ill doings.
What do you imagine to happen to Ace Magashule's detractors during this meeting? Will we see some sort of force and push against him?
Look, Ace Magashule is not different from Cyril Ramaphosa. He's not different from any other NEC member that is there, like your Fikile Mbalula. Remember that there was a finding from the public protector, but they simply ignored it. And so look how Zondo is unraveling the interconnectedness of both the factions when it comes to corruption. And so I don't think that Ace is supposed to worry, because where he's going to be, he will be with the people of the same caliber, of the same doing. And so I don't think really that Ace is worried. And as I'm saying, we are just having a false hope, and nothing really is going to happen to him or any of the person who's alleged to be wrong.
As you and I speak, I'm looking at the Sunday Times, and it says that it understands that it was only President Cyril Ramaphosa and National Chair Gwede Mantashe who insisted that leaders who are charged should voluntarily step down. Are we really looking to see anything of that matter?
Look, you have to understand that even our journalists, to a certain extent, now have joined these factions, and they're becoming mouthpiece. They're trying to indoctrinate the society in order to take a particular posture. And so I don't think really that the Sunday Times have an essence of what is happening in that NEC, because if they are really honest, us as South Africans, look, we have a president who is not willing to tell the public who who was funding his campaign. And so when we talk about morals and ethics and openness, I think he's one of those people who might end up fall the victim of what is happening in South Africa in relation to corruption. Koko Machela, you remember that he boldly mentioned his name, as someone who had a hidden hand in the operation of Eskom. And so, as I'm saying, none of these guys is a saint. All of them are tainted. And so let's forget the media and its supporting, because we know it now that journalism in our country is in a serious, serious trouble, and they are no longer the guard that guide the guardians. They've decided to take sides.
Very well. Thank you so much for your time. Political analyst Xolani Dube.